The CEO SleepOut, it was the 702 Sun International CEO SleepOut 2015 last year. It was a wonderful experience for Girls and Boys Town. I think our children were completely swept up with the whole momentum of the CEO SleepOut. 13 of them attended the evening and spoke to CEOs, and they were just absolutely blown away. I mean, the children afterwards, other children were all saying, what do we need to do to behave properly so that we can also be invited next year, or if that was something that was going to come up. So that was wonderful. What happens now is the CEO SleepOut Trust has a working group with the CEO Trust, and we meet every quarter to talk, because obviously we've identified the 6 legacy projects for the CEO SleepOut. And so that's sort of training disadvantaged schools, educators in disadvantaged schools, working with kids, creating opportunities for them to find their strengths, their talents, to experience hope, fun, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, we also had the CEO SleepOut money costed against some of this purchase of some vehicles, and our research project moving forward into the next 3 years. Some of the renovations to our buildings to ensure that we're able to have children live in family-style living environments rather than institutional environments, etc. And these are children who otherwise would never have had that experience, of family and how to live in a family. And one day they will go out and have their own family, so it's really an important element of their development. And so those are the programs and projects that have been, as a result, sort of ensured that we're able to move forward with that planning and those projects as approved by the working group and our board into the future for the next couple of years up until the end of 2018. So it's been a wonderful experience.
It was freezing and we were properly dressed for it. So you've got to think of people who don't have the luxury of the warm clothing that we had. So despite all the warm clothing and the fire that we kept going all night, it was properly cold. And the road's a hard place. I think if I tried to sleep, I wouldn't have been that successful. So yeah, really, really hard. Yeah, last year was June, longest night of the year. I think in Joburg it actually gets colder after that. So by July it'll be a little colder. We expect a bit of wind blowing across the Mandela Bridge. I think it's going to be probably miserable.
Sleeping out in the middle of the day and assume that they were drunk or just lazy. And that was changed last year through my participation in the CEO SleepOut.
I think we are in a very privileged position as CEOs purely because of the positional power, but also the inordinate influence that we command to be able to focus on one or two things that genuinely matter. Laser sharp attention. Last year, with the very first inaugural CEO SleepOut, was on the Girls and Boys Town to really give effect to this notion that all South Africans can have a home, can have a roof over their head. 247 of us came together and 26 million rand was banked. That is influence. Can you imagine if we are purposeful, deliberate, conscious about that influence to bring about broader good, to be able to say as business we can achieve two things. One, the purpose of business, it can't just be about profit. It also has to be about greater good. How we can touch, influence, affect society in a very meaningful way. First of all, now there is a bricks and mortar building that has been put together by that 26 million that was raised in just that one night. And for the record, South Africa, this was our very first, but we raised more than Australia raised in 10 years. That to me is changing the dial, is giving a step change?
Well, I think it's going to be bigger than it was last year. I think the concept was created last year. This year, that concept is already embedded in the national psyche. But this is about generations of leadership doing the same thing. So the tone set by the CEOs last year, passed on to leaders within their business, passed on to students, leaders within the student environment, passed on to leaders in the school environment, all uniting together, a real nationwide call to get involved. So it's very exciting. Just been nominated by Adam Craker, who's the CEO of IQ Business, and when you get nominated, you got to attend. So I'll be on the bridge that evening, and in turn I nominated Mr. Gareth Cliff, so I suspect he will be there as well. Well, I hope so.